grid. You see the 11s that they've laid down in preparation for the start of this race. When everyone is positioned, we will have the race getting underway. It's Jarno Trulli in the pale blue and white Trulli car on the front row of the grid. Alongside him is the yellow, black and red apt car of Lucas di Grassi. Buemi and Heidfeld are on row 2. All 5 lights are on. And we go green in Berlin, and it's a good start from di Grassi. He'll have the inside line on the run down towards the first corner. Is he going to be close enough to challenge Trulli? No, not quite. Trulli holds the lead. A few lockups further back. Buemi tries to challenge. He might lose out to Nick Heidfeld as they all make their way safely through the first corner. Down towards the right kink at 2, and then it tightens into 3. And it's still, and it's a spin, and it's Daniel Abt facing the wrong way. Meanwhile, Lucas di Grassi's taken the lead of the race. Di Grassi leads, Trulli second, Buemi third as they come out into turn 4. It's so wide here. One of the Virgin cars trying to force his way through, but it's di Grassi who leads. Then there's a gap back to Nico Prost. I wonder if he and Abt came together side by side between the Virgin and the Andretti further up in the field, but it's Lucas di Grassi who's managed to take the lead of the race away. Good start as well from Nelson Piquet Jr. as he tries to funnel his way through, but Trulli got away well, but he's lost the lead now to di Grassi, and that is going to be perfect news for the championship leader, Mike Conway.
I know, it was, I don't know how Lucas got by there, but you know, he's really stretched out a gap as well to Jarno. So, and it's getting really close down here into turn 10.
The Yamlin Aguri cars fighting, and that is Antonio Felix da Costa trying to force his way past Salvador Duran, and all in front of them is Sam Bird in the Virgin machine as they come now into the tight and twisty second part of the, final part of the course that is very different to everything else. They all filter their way through under this huge canopy roof where the planes used to park up at the terminal. It's all single file through here by the looks of things, but as they come through to complete the first lap of racing, Lucas di Grassi leads 2 seconds clear of Jarno Trulli as they get on the brakes down into turn 1. Buemi in third, but he's under a lot of pressure from Nick Heidfeld. Antonio Liuzzi's made a great start as well. He's up into 7th place, having started in 11th.
Yeah, he's worked his way up nicely, 4 positions from the start, Antonio. But it's really busy. It seems like there's a lot of jostling going on. It's hard to actually keep up with all the movements here.
Absolutely, and well, Jarno's got a decent pace. It's Sebastian Buemi who's under the biggest amount of pressure from Nick Heidfeld behind him. Nelson Piquet Jr. meanwhile is using his fan boost as he tries to get past Stefan Sarazan, looking to the inside to take 9th place away, and Piquet does it. Good use of the fan boost by the Brazilian, and he's up into 9th. This is his nose cam as he now looks at the back of the Dragon car of Loic Duval. You can see the standings there on the left-hand tower as we're on lap 2 of 33 here in Berlin. Down they come towards the final section. There's a dart to the inside. Look at that. What a decisive move from Jerome D'Ambrosio as he makes his way past Nico Prost. That's 5th place now for D'Ambrosio. Came out of nowhere, really. Just sent it up late in the day on the brakes, and now through comes Liuzzi. So Nico Prost dropping down the field like nothing else at the moment as they now filter their way under the canopy roof once again through the back part of the circuit. But Nico Prost losing 2 places in 2 corners there.
I know, yeah. D'Ambrosio dive up the inside into 10. And then, he just got done again by Liuzzi 2 corners later.
Lucas di Grassi is disappearing at the front. 3.3 seconds his advantage. He was 1.3 seconds quicker than anyone else on that last lap. That's Jean-Eric Verne trying to fight his way past Stefan Sarazan. Verne's dropped a few positions at the start, down to 11th place, trying to get past the Dragon car of Sarazan. And this is the other Dragon car we're looking at, of Loic Duval. We're on board with Nelson Piquet Jr. running in 9th place at the moment.
He's made up about 3 spots from the start, Nelson, so exactly what he needs to do, get up the front and have a good scoring points position today.
D'Ambrosio is now right up behind Heidfeld. They're all starting to queue up a little bit behind Sebastian Buemi, which is slightly surprising to see, really. I thought Buemi would be putting Trulli under more pressure, but the Italian seems to be reasonably comfortable up at the front. Soon we'll get, once we have a couple of laps down, we'll get a look at their battery energy percentages and see who's doing well. But in the opening laps, they all pretty much start with obviously 100%, and it takes a couple of laps before that kind of filters out. But it's di Grassi leading the way, 4 seconds clear up at the front, maybe 4.5 now, because he's been very quick on this lap as well. Lap 3 of 33, the 2 Mahindras about to go side by side as Trulli flashes through the final 2 corners and out onto the start-finish straight. There is di Grassi. Look at that lead. What is it now? It's back to Trulli across the line. It is 4.5 seconds, but then it's nose to tail further back, and it looks as though Trulli have got the pace because Liuzzi's up there as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Antonio again making some positions up. But yeah, as you said, Lucas is really pulling away here. Just got it in every sector. A second a lap, even more, that time around compared to Jarno. So looks quite easy for him at the moment, and hopefully he's managing enough to look after his energy and his tyres.
Lap 4 of 33 here in the Berlin E-Prix, and Di Grassi leading the way by some 5 seconds over Jarno Trulli. And this is the battle between Nico Prost, who's under pressure now from Loic Duval behind, and he's got Nelson Piquet Jr. behind him as they swing into the right-hander. We go on board with Heidfeld, trying to get past Sebastian Buemi for 3rd place. We can hear the engine because, or the motor, because the microphone is on the car, but for these guys, as soon as they get over sort of 75, 100 kilometers an hour, all they hear is wind noise. Let's look back at the start then. It looked like Di Grassi got away well. Wheel spin for D'Ambrosio. Liuzzi got a good start too, but it was all pretty quiet at turn 1 anyway.
Yeah, fairly drama-free. Good start by everybody. Nicely defended by Jarno there, and then something happens from turn 1 down into 3. Hopefully we can get to see it here between the leaders. Just goes wide.
There, yeah.
Just locks up, goes wide, leaves the door open for Lucas to get by.
And whilst I was watching that, I didn't quite spot what happened to Daniel Abt, but he got turned around by someone, but it looked as though he may have lost it all by himself. Trulli was pretty defensive into that first corner, and then they come out. Heidfeld almost got past Buemi, and then watch Jarno Trulli, the leader of the race in the white car, just locks up. Whoa, almost lost it.
A little bit on the front and then massively locking up on the rear, and yeah, caught him out by surprise, and that was enough.
And Daniel's lost it all by himself there. Lucky not to get collected by anyone. So he's still in the race, Daniel Abt, in 20th place. This is on board with Piquet Jr. No, it's Jerome D'Ambrosio, my apologies, as they come to... Whoa! So Abt just locked the rears.
Similar to what happened to Sam Bird in qualifying. Just locked the rears all on his own.
And then this is Piquet Jr. That's how he made... Oh, he got slammed against the wall there.
Yeah, that was lucky. Very, very close to the car in front of him. Could have been a broken wing there, but well driven.
So, Lucas Di Grassi leads by 6.8 seconds. The man is driving incredibly. We're on board with Stefan Sarazan in 10th position, with Jean-Eric Verne right up behind us in that menacing white and blue of Andretti. There's Di Grassi, and there's Jarno Trulli. Meanwhile, has Buemi caught up to the back of Trulli? Not hugely. The gap's now 0.6 of a second. And I'm sure there'll be some Trulli train gags going on out there, because it does look that way at the moment. But so far, Jarno's pace has been pretty strong. Now, here's a look at energy percentage. 69% for Di Grassi. Here's a look up the inside. Through goes Jean-Eric Verne, and he goes past Stefan Sarazan.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
Sarazan holds on around the outside. Really impressive stuff there from Sarazan. I thought that was job done.
Yeah, well, that's one of those corners where you got that little bit of extra room on the outside to use, and yeah, drove well there to keep Jean-Eric behind. He's been putting him under pressure for most of the laps here.
So we've got the two onboard cameras, the rear facing of Sarazan and the T-cam of Jean-Eric Verne, watching this battle over 10th position. On board we go with Verne into the right-hander, using all of the curves, and then heading down this little back stretch into turn 10. Lifting and coasting there, but not too dramatically. Buemi's using his fan boost meanwhile, the man in 3rd place, to try and get past Jarno Trulli in 2nd position. And we'll wait and see whether that pays off. I think, I couldn't quite, yes it has. So Buemi's through. Buemi is past Jarno Trulli and up into 2nd place. He used the fan boost to get past, and that extra 30 kilowatts of power will release Sebastian Buemi. And now it's up to everyone else to try and get past. And that's Buemi saying, I used the fan boost. And he's up into 2nd place now, and here comes Heidfeld. Heidfeld through into 3rd. Trulli will get the cut back on the exit of the corner, though, so they'll go side by side down towards the right-hander of 4. Heidfeld still has the inside line, but there's D'Ambrosio forcing his way up the inside as well, and Trulli is dropping back. He's now just in front of his teammate Tonio Liuzzi, so Trulli from pole is back down to 5th position. Just got mugged there, really.
No, I mean, great move by Nick into turn 1, and then another great move by D'Ambrosio a corner after. So, yeah, I mean, that can happen sometimes. You lose that little momentum, especially with the the way these cars drive. And yeah, they just, he was just sitting duck there, unfortunately.
So Heidfeld up into third position, D'Ambrosio into fourth. So there's the order on the left hand. Well, it's just disappeared, but there was the order. Now here's how Buemi did it. Used the fan boost into turn 12, and that's a sort of unconventional. That wasn't the sort of place we were expecting to see moves.
No, but you know, there you go. There's another great move there by Nick, showing that again. Yeah, but I think there's opportunity everywhere around this track, and like the driver said before coming here, it's going to be some good racing, and as we can see, it has been so far.
Yep, D'Ambrosio forcing his way past as well. And into the hairpin left-hander they came, and there is Liuzzi. So Liuzzi's got past Trulli too. So Tonio Liuzzi gets past his teammate and up into fifth position. So after that quick early pace, it looks as though Jarno is dropping back a little bit, and the next man to put him under pressure is Loic Duval. Here comes Jean-Eric Vergne trying to get past Nico Prost, and so Prost had got past. No, they've caught up with Prost. So Prost is dropping back as well. He's now under pressure from Sam Bird. So not quite sure what's happened to Nico Prost, but we saw him losing position hand over fist a minute ago. Sam Bird, little nose to the inside, not quite close enough to get through. So that means that Sarrazin is up to 9th, 10th for Vergne, 11th for Prost. And now Trulli is going to lose out to Loic Duval up the inside into the left-hander at 6th, and Duval is through.
Yeah, good move. Little slide as well up the inside. That was nice and precise.
Liuzzi's made up 6 places. Trulli has dropped 5 places, make that 6, because through goes Nelson Piquet Jr. So I wonder if Jarno's running into some sort of problem, because he just can't keep anyone behind him. Stefan Sarrazin is the next man to be on the outside. Tried to dart to the inside to cover it off. He's very brave turning in there. Trulli just got out of it in time.
Wow, brushed his nose, I think, as he turned in there, Stefan. Yeah, good move. Forced it, and it paid off. But yeah, he's getting eaten up now. Now Jeb is trying to make it happen. But it seems to be the way. You get past one corner, and then it seems to be a knock-on effect for some reason here.
Yeah, and now Vergne is under all sorts of pressure from Sam Bird as they come out onto the start-finish straight again. There is the Andretti driver. Across the line they come. Meanwhile, Di Grassi has got a 10.8 second lead at the front of this race. The championship leader showing everyone how it's done at the moment. Really impressive stuff.
Yeah, amazing. Second a lap has been from the start of the race to now. He's been pulling out.
And there is Vergne through on Trulli up the inside. Sam Bird, is he going to try and double back to the inside? Yes, no, he's not. Thought about it.
He did, yeah. He smartly went back though. But I think he's going to have another go at me here down into probably turn 6. He's getting a good run down between 4, 5. Now the braking zone coming up. There you go, Sam. Straight up the inside. Nicely done.
And Da Costa tried to follow through as well, but wasn't quite close enough to do so. He's got Nico Prost behind him, so Da Costa's got past Prost as well, and now Alguersuari, I think, was about to get past Prost too. Prost really seems to be struggling out there with his teammate Lucas Di Grassi in second place. Fastest middle sector of anyone has just gone to Loic Duval, the man in 6th position, who's trying to chase down Tonio Liuzzi in front, but this is the queue now for second place. Buemi, Heidfeld and D'Ambrosio in 2nd, 3rd and 4th.
I was thinking it might just be with Jarno there. Maybe he's gone offline a few times, picked up a lot of marbles. Maybe that's affecting you know, the handling of the car now. It could just be that, or generally just struggling for pace.
Now here's our race leader, Lucas Di Grassi. He's been going a second a lap quicker, as you can see. Well, only 2/10 on that last lap, but in general he's been going almost a second a lap quicker than everyone else, and it's absolutely astonishing stuff from Di Grassi. We'll wait and see how his energy percentages are, as meanwhile Piquet is in front of Stefan Sarrazin in 7th place, trying to climb his way back up the order, but to see the race leaders and his championship rivals in 1st and 2nd is not going to be good news for the Brazilian.
It's a close little fight here between Sebastian Buemi, Heidfeld and D'Ambrosio. You know, they're not getting away from each other, and but their lap times now are getting pretty close to what Lucas is doing. But just Lucas was able to do it from, you know, lap 1 up until now, where the guys seem to take a bit of a longer time to get up to his lap times.
Now, presumably, if
a whole session, but yeah, I mean, it is frustrating when you have to lift. You're like, just a little bit more, and I'd be able to pass you. But it's a bit of a waiting game. But it's great close racing at the moment.
Di Grassi, as you can see, got pretty much the same percentage energy left well, just dipped into 39s, but so has Heidfeld, than anyone else, and he's still setting these sorts of lap times. It's phenomenally impressive from Lucas de Grassi. Really strong drive from the Abt driver, who has never really been in a position to win a race like this. He won the opening race in Beijing, but that was only because the two race leaders collided. Since then he did have a second in Putrajaya, but Sam Bird was long gone off the road. He had a second place in Monaco, and that was the first time he was really challenging for a victory in out-and-out pace. And now he's got the lead of the race. He is absolutely disappearing. Buemi second, Heidfeld third, D'Ambrosio fourth. That's the battle you can see here. e.dams versus Venturi versus Dragon. There we go. A little bit of a mind blank there, but we got through it. The top 5 cars from 5 different teams. Liuzzi's only just in front of Duval, so that battle for 5th place is brewing too. But now we get into that sort of settled down period of the race where everyone's trying to look after their energy and manage it as best they can. When they get in their second car after the pit stops, they tend to know what position they're in a little bit better and are able to go for it a bit more. Looked as though Sarrazin and Piquet were having quite a nice battle. There is Jarno Trulli, the man who started on pole position, now down in 13th position with Jaime Alguersuari all over the back of him. Scott Speed is behind them in 15th place. Then Duran, Peak, Senna, Chandok and Abt completing the 20 cars that are all still running, which is great to see. But Piquet's under a lot of pressure from Sarrazin now. Starts to the inside into turn 6, and that's job done.
Nicely done. Yeah, just towed him down the back straight and just snuck out under the braking area into turn 6. So nicely done by Steph. It's not what Nelson needs with his championship rival out in P1. He's looking good to score maximum points here, and Nelson really needs to get the most amount of points he can to damage limitation for the championship.
And D'Ambrosio now is in front of Nick Heidfeld. Jerome D'Ambrosio is up into 3rd position. He's got past him somewhere out there on the circuit, and now the Dragon car will start to close in on Sebastian Buemi in front of him. That'll be the aim anyway. So local man Heidfeld, well, I say local, he's from Mönchengladbach over in the west of Germany, but he's at his home race nevertheless. He is now dropped into 4th position as they come across the line. And now I wonder what D'Ambrosio can do about Buemi in front of him. Here's the replay. Oh, late in the day.
Bang. Shut up the inside. A little lock up, but all under control. Yeah, that was a really well-timed move.
Heidfeld turned in as normal, and then, there's a Dragon car there. And didn't really defend that. I don't know if he really saw that one coming, Nick Heidfeld. So now you can see how quickly D'Ambrosio has dropped Heidfeld behind and is right on the back now of Sebastian Buemi. They've all used a similar amount of energy. Buemi, I don't think, has used his fan boost yet in this first car as they come through the right-hander. No, sorry, yes, he did. He used it to get past Trulli, didn't he, into turn 12. But now this is the battle over 2nd place. The battle over the lead is 12 seconds apart. Astonishing stuff from Lucas de Grassi.
Yeah, still pulling. Still lapping in the high 25s. Everybody else is,
being told, well, you heard what he got told. He's got more energy than Buemi in front of you, so things looking good.
Lost a little bit to Seb, but he's still pretty close.
Through the right-hander at turn 5, down towards turn 6, a favoured overtaking zone for D'Ambrosio. Likes to dart out at the last minute, but he's not quite close enough. Out of 6 they come, back end stepping out a little bit for Nick Heidfeld, who's dropped further back down into 4th position and has got slightly less energy than these other guys around him. Loic Duval's doing a good job in 6th. He's got slightly more energy than Liuzzi in front of him, so we'll see whether that pays out well. But look, everyone else is on. Sarrazin's on 12% there in 7th place. Piquet's on 20%. He is really, well, not even cruising around Nelson Piquet, just really playing the game by the looks of things.
Yeah, maybe he's looking to pit, a lap or 2 later and have a fresher set of tyres, for his second stint. You never know actually as well if people started with their better set of tyres for this one or if they're saving them for the second half. I think that will play out as
Trulli down to his final 10%, the man in 13th place who started on pole position. So despite his apparent lack of speed, he is using up an awful lot of energy at the same time. So a great pole position lap from Trulli, but not quite getting it together in the race. Look how close it is for second place. There you can see some of the field and the runways on the right-hand side. Two huge 2-kilometre runways that were built here during the Berlin airlift in 1948, because this is where the Berlin airlift all happened. But it's the battle over second that's probably worth focusing on a little more at the moment. Into 9. Not really an overtaking opportunity because you've got the little kink at 8.
We've got one coming up though. We've got down into this one. Oh, he thought about it. He thought about it. He must be listening to me. But maybe up into turn 12 as well. There's another one. He seems to be very close to him right now.
Now here's our race leader, Lucas Di Grassi. He stays out, so with 9% he can get another lap in, which is in theory enough for Nelson Piquet to do another lap as well. Scott Speed trying to force his way past Salvador Duran, and he manages to do so. So that's Speed up into 15th position, and look at that, Salvador Duran has got front wing damage there, so he's come a cropper somewhere out on the circuit. Maybe that's why he's suddenly dropped back. He was behind Jaime Alguersuari. We've got Sarrazin and Trulli into the pits, and yeah, the front wing of Salvador Duran not looking too pretty. Minimum pit stop time here is 63 seconds. You can hear that rattling on the run down into the first corner, but he'll be pitting on this next lap or so. Lap 17 of 33 here in Berlin. Lucas Di Grassi leading the way by 12 seconds, but we've got a fantastic fight over second place, and at the moment a fantastic fight as well over 14th, 15th, 16th.
Yeah, Sam Bird, one of the quickest guys out there now. He was matching you know, the times that Lucas was doing earlier, so good job by Sam. Looks like he's got into the rhythm here a bit more. 17
laps of 33 completed, and look at the amount of energy that Piquet's got. If he can eke that out into one more lap, that is going to be good news for him, because he'll essentially start the second stint with 8% more battery than everyone else. In comes Di Grassi, race leader. Jean-Eric Vergne and Nelson Piquet going side by side, and that is Vergne going past Piquet to take 7th position away. And Piquet's not going to get too involved in this fight, I don't think, because he might be getting involved unintentionally.
Oh, three guys he's lost out to now.
Da Costa and Bird both coming through, but he's going to stay out, and everyone else is coming into the pits. So Nelson Piquet, the only man to stay out on the track and try and have another lap.
1.9.
1.9, the readout from Piquet. So he moves into the lead of the race. Everyone else is in the pits. So this is going to be a very, very busy pit lane as they all come in. And how difficult are these pit stops, Mike, to get the car change done? Because there's a minimum time, but it's still tough.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they leave the steering wheel on, so it makes it that little bit quicker, and they just kind of slide in between, quickly belt up, and they're away. It's not too bad. It's fairly quick. It's just getting what can be most difficult is getting the seat as good as your first one in the other car. You know, that can always be annoying for a driver, but Lucas is out the pits now. He's away.
And up into second place has gone Jerome D'Ambrosio, and he's come out just in front of Sebastian Buemi. So D'Ambrosio is up into second position, locks up the brakes on the run down into the first corner, but he's up into second place. Let's just check his pit stop time. Yeah, 1:03, spot on for the Dragon team. So that has given D'Ambrosio second position overall behind Lucas Di Grassi. Everyone else filing out of the pit lane now. Daniel Abt has managed to get past Karun Chandok, I think. No, he was already in front of him. So no change there. Big slide from Scott Speed. But here's Piquet. He stayed out for an extra lap.
Yeah, he did that extra lap, and he set purple in sector 2 there. So yeah, that was pretty impressive. So good to see how much time he's gained and positions also. Yeah,
we'll see how it pans out, because he came into the pits from just outside of the top 10. But he'll have more pace in this second car, so in theory he should be the quickest man on the track.
Yep.
Really impressive energy management from Piquet, and we've said it so far this season that he's strong, but we've never seen such a clear illustration. Charles Pique's done it as well, actually, so Pique's managed to stay out.
Yeah, so that's good effort by the Team China to maximise the potential here, and yeah, as you said, they'll be able to drive that little bit quicker now less lifting in this second phase of the race and have a little bit fresher tyres.
So Nelson Piquet will be coming out of the pits in about 10 seconds time. So I don't think he'll have gained much time in the pit stop itself, but it's when he's then out on track that he should be able to go quicker than everyone else. Now, where's he going to come out? There's Loic Duval, and there's Da Costa and Sarrazin. So he's going to come out in pretty much the same place that he came in. Yeah, just behind Da Costa, but he's got less laps on that power. One less lap, really, than anyone else. So he can push harder, in theory, for the second half of the race.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, as you said, he hasn't gained really in terms of positions, but now he can really drive a little bit quicker than everybody else and try and work his way up through the field. But he needs to, you know, make up a few positions because obviously his championship rival Lucas is P1 right now and looking to take a victory.
So there you can see De Grassi has 90%, Piquet has 97%, and so he's got a lot more to play with. Now there's Sam Bird, that's bowled up the inside, and he's going to hit Jean-Eric Vergne. The two managed to remain intact as Bird tried to force his way through into turn 9. Now down towards 10. This is the battle over 9th position, and Vergne's holding it at the moment. Good drive from Sam Bird to start 15th and be up into 9th place, but we were saying earlier on how that's not really an overtaking opportunity, nor's this, the outside into turn 12, but he tried to force the issue there.
He did, and he's got some battle scars on his front wing to prove it. It's, yeah, he was trying to be a bit forceful there, but obviously he feels like he's a lot quicker than Jeb right now, and yeah, he's really eager to get by.
On board with Sam Bird, there's Alex Ty, the boss of the Virgin Racing team. As Bird gets on the brakes down towards turn 1. That was his team radio we just heard.
Good minimum speed there through with Sam. Braking fairly gently, just rolling all the speed in that he can.
Now Loic Duval has just set the fastest lap of anyone. He's in 5th place, Loic Duval. So he has made up. No, he's in the same place that he was when he came into the pits, but he's now right up behind Nick Heidfeld in front of him. And it's still only 0.4 of a second between Heidfeld and Buemi. And then it's 3 seconds back from to D'Ambrosio in 2nd place. So De Grassi and D'Ambrosio in 1st and 2nd are looking quite strong. There is De Grassi leading the way, and then 10 seconds further back, just coming around there at the top of turn 10 and 11, is Jerome D'Ambrosio there. That's what 10.5 seconds looks like. And as we were saying, it's 3 seconds now back to Sebastian Buemi, who is in turn under pressure from Nick Heidfeld, who is in turn under pressure from Loic Duval. So an interesting battle this, and Dragon looking strong this weekend, which is very nice to see. Heidfeld desperate to get a podium at his home race.
5.1.
And that's still Sam Bird's, no, it's Nick Heidfeld's radio coming up.
That was Heidfeld. I mean, all the numbers that we get from all the teams and the drivers, you know, they all sound different. It's because they have their own little codes, basically, of how much energy use is per lap. So we really don't know what they're relaying, but the teams have got their sheet and their codes, and they know what the actual real number relates to. So that's what he's passing back to the team now.
Nelson Piquet Jr. has just set the fastest lap of the race, and he's now in 8th place, right behind Antonio Felix da Costa, who has a drive-through penalty. There goes Heidfeld through into 3rd place, but Buemi tries to fight back and does so. Great racing, and for the final podium position. Now up into turn number 9. Heidfeld's looking racy. He wants this podium at his home race. Piquet's closing in on Da Costa, but Da Costa and Salvador Duran have drive-through penalties for being too fast in the pit lane. They were a second too quick, and as a result they've got drive-through penalties for the Amna Naguri car behind.
Want to give up that position and kind of force him out wide on the exit, and yeah, that kind of got a lot of pickup on Nick's tyres, and he had to defend then for a couple of corners. But Loic Duval has been really fast behind these two. He's caught them up quite quickly, and he's setting some quick sectors.
De Grassi leading the way here in Formula E. We've got 12 laps to go. This is on board with Buemi. Through comes Heidfeld, goes in. Doesn't go in that deep, but Buemi just did a really good job. Enough
for a cutback, and then when you get to turn 8, then it really tightens up. So it kind of left Nick with no room to go, and he had to give in.
Lap 22 of 33 here in Berlin. The 8th round of the Formula E season. Round the right-hand kink of 5, on the brakes into 6. How's Piquet doing? He's a second and a half behind Da Costa in front of him, so he's not really closing in that gap at the moment. D'Ambrosio's made up 4 places off his starting grid position. Da Costa had made up 12, but he's got to serve a drive-through penalty. As they come into the left-hander. And then down into turn number 12. Percentage-wise, Piquet's still got 78% in 8th position, but at the moment, he's not really being able to use it unless he's intentionally sort of saving it up for later in the race, I wonder.
I'm not sure, because that lap he actually lost out a little bit to Da Costa. So, yeah, I think they had really good pace when they came out of the pits initially, but now it's kind of it's settled down a little bit. So whether he's trying to save some for reserve, but at the same time, the moment you lose those seconds on track and track position as well, it's going to make it a lot more difficult to regain that back towards the end of the race.
So the order changed a little bit there, because here comes Daniel Abt up the inside of Trulli. Lock up on the front left, but Abt goes through to take 15th position away. The order at the front has all changed a little bit because Antonio Felix da Costa has served his drive-through penalty. Karun Chanduk is forcing his way past Trulli as well. So that is now 17th place for Chanduk, 16th place for Daniel Abt. And Da Costa served his time for minimum pit stop time. The reason they have the minimum pit stop time is just so that the drivers are buckled in safely into their new cars, because if they rush the pit stops and the belts aren't done up correctly, then that can be a little bit dangerous. So the minimum pit stop time is there to make sure that everything is done safely during the pit stop window. But this man, Lucas de Grassi, could have had a minimum pit stop time some 10 seconds longer and he'd still be out in the lead of the race. Let's have a look at the active gap as he comes across the line. It was 10.5 seconds. Back to D'Ambrosio. And across the line now comes D'Ambrosio, and it's, it's come down by a tenth or so. The battle for third has calmed down a tiny bit now. Heidfeld has dropped back from Sebastian Buemi. 24 of 33, so 10 to go. This is the battle over third. And if anything, I think it's Duval who's going to be putting Heidfeld under pressure. That last lap, Heidfeld was a couple of tenths slower than Buemi and Duval, so the Frenchman is looking strong. Now this is Antonio Felix da Costa and Jaime Alguersuari going side by side, very side by side. And Alguersuari going... Yeah, Alguersuari going wide and wider. Heidfeld's just done the quickest first sector of anyone. A personal best first sector.
And Stefan Sarrazin as well is catching up to the back of that trio, which is going to make it more interesting. And so the Venturi car is having a strong race here today.
And this is going to be a strong showing for Venturi, you're right, because they're down at the bottom of the team standings, but they'll get a good hunk of points from 4th and 6th positions. We're on board with Sam Bird. That's Jean-Eric Verne up in front of us as we come under the canopy, back out into the sunshine. A little bit out of shape there, Verne.
Yeah, big old slide on the way in there through the last section. And we saw a lot more of that earlier on, and it's been less after the race. Again, just relaying the...
That's good. We are +0.2. 3 places ahead of you is Sarrazin.
I think we just lost out on a bit of juiciness there. He was just about to say something about Sarrazin, so that's obviously where Virgin are aiming, potentially. Now, how quickly can Loic Duval attack Nick Heidfeld? Very quickly, not close enough.
He thought about it.
Yeah, had a big think about it.
Yeah, it wasn't quite close enough, but he's going to be trying, that's for sure. He looks like he's been quicker than Nick the last few laps, but it has been really close between those two. Yeah. Any small mistake, and that's where the drivers get the advantage.
It's great action for 2nd, 3rd and 4th as Duval tries desperately to get the car stopped. And I guess it's different on a circuit like this because track position, is it everything? Or in this stage it's more about getting it later on? Because it's quite difficult to defend, you know?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you want to be up front. It's easier to defend than it is to, you know, try and overtake. But I mean, it's all about managing.
145, 145.
That was Loic Duval's team radio.
Okay, this is good. Loic is good. Push a bit harder.
Push a bit harder. That means try and overtake Mr. Nick in front of you, which may be coming up down into turn 3. Ooh. Not quite. Dives out of it, though. Could get a cutback and a good run into 4. Darts to the inside line going down into 4, but Heidfeld blocks the inside.
This is going to mean a good run now for Loic down this back straight, and he's already right on his bumper. I'm sure there's going to be a move down into here, but Nick can easily defend.
Duval looks to the outside line. Heidfeld has to brake on the slightly dirtier inside, but oh, I thought Duval was going then. He got proper crossed up.
Yeah, he tried to cut it back and just forced it a little bit too strong, and the rear just came round on him. So that was unfortunate. I was looking to be, you know, quite exciting between those two.
On board again with Duval, who's now dropped back just a tad from the chaps in front of him. Piquet Jr., you can see in the battle with Stefan Sarazan, 6th and 7th. Piquet's got a lot more energy than Sarazan, a lot more, some 13%. So he could be looking good to attack Sarazan before the end of the race. He's only a second behind the Frenchman. So that could be a battle that will brew. And in fact, they're all now on the back of this battle, aren't they? So from Heidfeld down, really, everyone's in one little queue. So you got Heidfeld, Duval, Sarazan and Piquet Jr. all in one little line. So Piquet's got a chance here to get up as high as 4th.
I know, yeah. I mean, we said we weren't sure about what was going to happen, but he's the danger one, isn't he, in this group now? He's really caught up to them with them all battling. With the extra energy he's got, he's really got a good opportunity to get by these guys.
There is Nelson Piquet, 7th place at the moment. He's the 2nd place man in the championship. If things stay like this, De Grassi is going to be extending his championship advantage by a considerable margin, actually. As they come through the left-hander, he'll increase it by some 18 or 19 points over Nelson Piquet and over Buemi as well. So Buemi could overtake Piquet in the standings, but we've still got a long way to go before I do the mental arithmetic, because anything could happen. A bit of a screech for someone coming down into the hairpin, and Nelson Piquet set the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 24.435. I think that was a lap or two ago now. Lap 20. Yes, that was 7 laps ago. So I think that was the first lap out after he changed his car. 6 to go here in Berlin. De Grassi leading the way, 9 seconds clear of Jerome D'Ambrosio in 2nd.
12.5.
This is Piquet's radio. And he just gave them a battery reading, so the team now know that he's got more than the others, because the teams don't actually get telemetry. We in the TV gang are the only ones who get this percentage here. Charles Pic is using his fan boost to try and get past Karun Chandok out there on the circuit, but that's in the battle over 17th position. Keep an eye out as to whether he manages to make that stick. Oh, little look from Duval. He's caught up to the back of Heidfeld. Now he's got to try and find the right move again.
Yeah, it's all brewing again. You know, only took him a lap really to get back onto the back of Nick. So yeah, it's good. He's definitely the quicker guy out of the two, and also Nelson is right on the back of Steph now. It's going to give,
and he's using his fan boost down into the left-hander, and that surely will see Nelson Piquet past Stefan Sarazan and up into 6th position. So Piquet goes through, uses his fan boost. He could have probably done the move without it, to be honest. He was that close, but Sarazan now drops to 7th, Piquet up to 6th, and Sarazan has got very little energy left. He's going to have to really conserve in the remaining 5 laps, but now Piquet is going to set about the Heidfeld-Duval battle in front of him. Out onto the start-finish straight, lap 29 of 33.
And a good job as well by Jerome D'Ambrosio. He's really been bringing down the gap between him and Lucas Di Grassi. It's still pretty big, 8.7 seconds, but you know, 3/4 tenths every single lap. He's been catching him up.
Heidfeld and Duval still nose to tail for 4th position. Duval thinks about a little dart to the inside line, not quite close enough. We go on board with the Frenchman into turn number 6. Heidfeld will surely cover the inside line. No, he decides not to. That allows Duval up the inside. And can Heidfeld get the cutback as we saw Buemi do earlier? No. Duval is through, up into 4th place. Came out of nowhere. That one surprised you.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about maybe he's going to do it, but yeah, really good lunge up the inside, late braking. And I think he just caught Nick by surprise, really, that one. I don't think he expected him to be there.
And here comes Nelson straight away. Piquet up the inside into turn 10. So that's 5th place now for Nelson Piquet Jr. And he will set about trying to chase Loic Duval. Heidfeld's hanging on in there, but he's going to be on the outside line for the right-hander of turn 12. And he has to relinquish the position. So Di Grassi, D'Ambrosio, Buemi, the top 3 remain unchanged. But now it's Duval, Piquet, Heidfeld, Sarrazin, Verne, Bird and Liuzzi, the top 10. And now Sarrazin might fancy a bite at Heidfeld too, but the 2 Venturi cars will probably start to chill out a little bit. 4 laps to go here in Berlin in what has been a very entertaining Formula E race. Duval's at the fastest final sector of anyone on that lap once he'd got past the car in front.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, Loic's been doing a great job this weekend. Here we go. Just, yeah, nicely done. Just pulled out the slipstream, bang up the inside, and he was away. Nick wasn't going to come back after that one. And the same for Nelson. Just pulled straight out.
Was planning on making the move there, but maybe he's just got so much more speed that he is able to. And all of a sudden, Lucas Di Grassi is leading the way, as he has been since the 3rd corner of the race. A really commanding performance from the Brazilian, looking to take his 2nd win of the season. Hasn't won since the 1st race of the year in Beijing. Yeah, he's led the championship most of the way, but now he's going to take his first commanding victory by the looks of things, as he gets ready with about to make it 3 laps to go. So Di Grassi leads across the line. 2nd is Jerome D'Ambrosio. In 3rd position is Sebastian Buemi coming out of the final corner. Buemi's done a personal best lap that time around, because now Duval's in clear air. He's going to try and close in on him, and Piquet in 5th position still has 5% more energy remaining than anyone else, so Piquet can push. And so I think 4th is doable for Piquet. 3rd might be a bit of a stretch with 3 laps left.
Yeah, I mean, Seb's kind of there on his own really in 3rd. He's had pretty quiet race the last kind of 10 laps, so I think, I don't know, you say safe. He's done a good time there, probably the quickest one out of most of the people on that lap. But yeah, I think Nelson would be good for 4th, but Loic has been really quick. He's going to be a hard one to pass.
Bruno Senna has been given a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that's not to do with minimum pit stop time, that's just for going too fast. But Lucas Di Grassi still out in the lead and running at a similar energy level to everyone else out there, really. More so than the guys in 3rd and 4th position. And you can see that now Piquet's pushed really hard. He has closed in onto a similar energy level to Di Grassi. Lap 31 of 33. Car 27 is under investigation. That's Jean-Eric Verne. And whatever incident that was will be investigated after the race. So that's not going to affect the action here. But Piquet throwing his car through the final sequence of corners as we start the penultimate lap of the race here in Berlin.
1.8.
That was Piquet's team radio, letting his Team China squad know exactly what the deal is. And he's 0.7 of a second behind Loic Duval in the battle for 4th position. He's still going to lose ground as far as the championship is concerned, but it's damage limitation really, having started in 13th place.
Yeah, and both Loic and Nelson were quicker than Sebastian Buemi that last lap by a good, half second. So they've actually caught him up again now. It's going to be interesting if Seb has saved enough for the last lap to keep these guys behind him.
You're right. Piquet was a second quicker than Sebastian Buemi on that last lap, in turn closing up to the back of Duval. So with 2 laps to go, well, a lap and a half now, it could get pretty tasty. I think 3rd, like I say, is a bit ambitious, but certainly 4th position is on for Nelson Piquet Jr. Jarno Trulli, look at that, down in 19th place, is down to 5% energy.
Oh no, what a tough race he's had from pole position all the way back down now to 18th. He's had a tough day.
Yeah, really difficult stuff for Jarno Trulli. But there, onto our final lap goes Lucas Di Grassi, the race leader. Second place is Jerome D'Ambrosio, but third, fourth and fifth are close together. It's fourth and fifth really that is where the battle's at. Loic Duval looking for a way to hold on to what would be his best Formula E result. Nelson Piquet has already used his fan boost in this second car, so he doesn't have that option available to him, but he'll be desperate to get this fourth place away on this final lap, the final 2.5 kilometers of racing here in Berlin on what has been a...
Catch him up, they control the whole way around.
Jarno Trulli, canopy here in Berlin on what has been a brilliant street circuit to race on.
Nelson, today really come on the race, trying to catch.
Sebastian Buemi crosses the line with 1%. Same for Loic Duval, 1% across the line.
I have a problem with my car.
Is that Lucas Di Grassi?
Well, maybe it's Di Grassi, the team radio of someone, but anyway, across the line they all come. Duval fourth, Piquet fifth, Heidfeld sixth, Sarrazin seventh, Verne in eighth, Bird in ninth, Antonio Liuzzi completing the top 10. The crowd on their feet. No, it must have been Di Grassi's team radio because he's stopped. So Nikki better get her running shoes on if she wants to talk to him. Pull up in a safe place for Lucas Di Grassi. Not really necessary, I suppose, because the race is over, but...
Wow, that was a bit lucky.
Yeah.
Broke down 2 corners after the finish. Wow. But great job by Lucas today, all day. I mean, the first...
Stay in the car until they're pushing the back of the maze. You cannot be sprunting. Just stay in the car.
So Di Grassi's just going to stay in the car. And that's the job done, as far as he's concerned.
I have a BMS error. Ground shift. Gonna reset it again.
So, give it a little power cycle. That's the correct phrase for turning it off and on again, isn't it? And
yeah, just turn the master switch off.
wait 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Give it a blow.
That's it. Rub it, and then turn it back on. No, I mean, sometimes it just resets the little bugs in the system.
So, there is Nelson Piquet, 5th place for him, set the fastest lap of the race on that final lap. An impressive drive. They couldn't get it together in qualifying. Great to see him waving to the fans as well. You're going to do some donuts, Nelson. You've got enough energy. But actually, you might not be allowed, actually, so don't listen to us as he now makes his way back towards the pits. A good drive to come from 13th to 5th. And his energy management is so strong, isn't it, compared to everyone? Why can no one else do that?
Well, he did actually lose positions trying to, save all that energy, so it wasn't really efficient, but, he did gain quite a lot back at the end. So, yeah, I mean, I think all the drivers can learn a lot from that, I think, to see what he does there and look at where he can save it. So, yeah, it's good. The more you can save, the more you're going to have at the end, and that's what it's about.
Loic Duval pushed hard on that final lap as well. He set the fastest final sector of anyone to keep Nelson Piquet Jr. behind. Parc Fermé for the time being, but it's 3rd place for Di Grassi, for Sebastian Buemi, my apologies. 2nd place for that man, Jerome D'Ambrosio. Great performance, his best result of the season so far. His previous best was a 4th place in Miami, but here he was there or thereabouts, and he is over the moon with that. And Dragon finally showing the sort of pace that they have threatened, and this is the way that the champions returned. Behind the back of a tow truck. So hopefully we should be speaking to Di Grassi before too long, by the time he makes it back around at the end of another entertaining E-Prix. Plenty of overtaking, plenty of action, and I mean, if it wasn't for Di Grassi disappearing, it would have been a really great race.
Yeah, but that's what Lucas needed to do. show his rivals, you know, this is his championship, his one to win. And yeah, great commanding win today. Really controlled it from the front. Wasn't bothered at all. That first stint pulled out an easy 12 seconds. The second a lap, that was really impressive. And then the second one just controlled the race. There was no need to push too hard and just manage and save things.